Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Wonderful. Just what we need, right? Another match between these two motherfuckers. The wrestling fans are going to have no problem whatsoever with that, right? Wrong. Big wrong. Holy shit. Twitter did not like this at all. And I knew that they wouldn't. And as usual, I'm going to try to look at both sides of the coin here. And on one side of the coin, I completely understand the fans' frustration and outrage. To me, it's almost comical at this point that they're giving us this match again, especially considering everything that we've seen between the two. Roman Reigns getting killed at WrestleMania, falling short at the Greatest Royal Rumble. He's currently locked in a feud with Jinder Mahal. It seems like WWE has actually changed their mind on him. So why are they going to go back to this match when you can put Brock Lesnar in the ring with a number of different opponents, most namely somebody like Seth Rollins, who I think has earned that opportunity. And Brock Lesnar has never defeated Seth Rollins. He's defeated Roman Reigns a couple of times. I think that would be a great match, and I would love to see Seth Rollins be the guy to defeat Brock Lesnar. I think Seth Rollins winning the title at SummerSlam in the main event in front of that New York crowd will be far more effective and enjoyable than Roman Reigns doing the same thing. He's going to be showered with booze, where Seth Rollins is going to be showered with confetti and love. So why WWE is not making that move, I have no fucking idea. So I understand that this is a little bit head-scratching, and it's annoying, and it's frustrating, and it's stupid. But on the other hand, always just trying to play devil's advocate here, when you look at the WWE title match and the outcome of that match at the Greatest Royal Rumble, of course they're going to do this match again. They would not have done that finish to begin with in Saudi Arabia if they didn't have a plan to do this match another time. So when you look at it from that side, I'm really not surprised at all that they're doing this match again at SummerSlam, and it might just be more of that storyline with Roman Reigns, how he can't beat Brock, and now even when he's got him beat, he still can't win because there's a conspiracy against him, and the authority and the management is out to get him, and they don't want him champion, and this whole stupid story that they're trying to develop here between the two, this could all be part of that, and it could finally see Roman Reigns coming full circle and finally defeating the Beast clean at SummerSlam, because they got to take the belt off of Brock at SummerSlam, right? I mean, enough is enough with this shit. He's had the belt now for a year and 3 or 4 months, nearly a year and a half, and he's going to defeat CM Punk's title run from 2012, may have already done it, and if he is going to return to the UFC, or if his contract that may have been extended for another 6 months or whatever is running out, he could drop the belt and leave again until next year's WrestleMania, or go back to mixed martial arts. We really don't know what's going on there. So on one hand, I'm really anxious to see Brock Lesnar lose the title and to get that fucking belt back on Raw every week, because we've been virtually world titleless on Raw now for nearly a year and a half. It's time to get that belt back. So let's try to, like I said earlier, I would love nothing more than for Seth Rollins to get this opportunity, but let's say it is Roman Reigns. And let me throw this scenario at you. Do you think it would be worth it? Do you think the fans could handle it if they can just put up with the match and Roman Reigns winning the belt, but having the Money in the Bank briefcase holder come in and cash in on him in the main event and take the belt off of him? I think that would be great, especially if the briefcase holder is somebody like a Kevin Owens, who I said right from the start would be a great guy to hold the briefcase because he would make that entertaining as shit. And Kevin Owens is naturally opportunistic as it is, so he would be a perfect character to hold the briefcase. You could even give it to somebody like Finn Bálor, who won the title at SummerSlam and had to forfeit it the next day and never really got a rematch for it. Maybe the only way he can get his belt back is if he gets the briefcase and takes advantage of a situation. Now, even though he's a babyface, you know, if Roman Reigns wins the belt and babyface Finn Bálor cashes in, Finn Bálor doesn't even necessarily have to turn heel. He can just cash in on Roman Reigns. Imagine the pop. It would be like the reverse of 2013 when Daniel Bryan beat John Cena, but then Randy Orton showed up and cashed in. I mean, it was like the fans were like, what the fuck? This would be the opposite of that. Instead of being overjoyed that Daniel Bryan won the title and have the rug ripped out from under them, this time they can be pissed that Roman Reigns has won the title, but they can be redeemed when Finn Bálor or Kevin Owens or somebody comes out there with the briefcase and steals the title away from Roman, which would perfectly tie in to this narrative that he's been pushing about the authority and management being against him and not wanting him to win the title and all this shit. So that would be the perfect thing to do, because now Roman is going to go apeshit. He's going to be really pissed now. I mean, a lot of it is a rehash. I mean, Roman Reigns had his issue with the authority the first time he had a run with the belt. I mean, it was Sheamus that took the belt off of him at Survivor Series after he won it, and Sheamus cashed in. And Seth Rollins cashed in at WrestleMania, screwing over Roman and Brock. So a lot of it, some of it might be a little bit of a rehash. You'll be rehashing 2013 with Daniel Bryan, and you'll also be rehashing some similar shit that they've already done with Roman in the past. But to me, that's still better than having Roman Reigns hold up the Universal title at the end of SummerSlam with the fireworks and the confetti and the bullshit and the entire New York audience booing the shit out of this guy. I think if you have him win and then you rip the title off of him, that will be much better, because I promise you this, if Roman Reigns does in fact face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, that match will be the main event. Make no mistake about it, especially if Brock's dropping the title. So we very well could get Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. They could maybe make it a 3-way or something, but I don't think we're going to see that. I think we got that last year, for starters. It was a 4-way, right? Wasn't SummerSlam's main event last year Brock, Roman, Joe, and Strowman, correct? So they're not going to do that again. I mean, I suppose they could, but I don't see it happening. I think WWE, even though they're really not doing anything with Roman Reigns right now, I think that they still want him to be that guy. So if he wins the belt, you know, the good thing about that is that he'll be dropping that belt to somebody. And if Roman Reigns wins the belt at SummerSlam, the longest he's going to hold that is about 7 months, and he'll drop it at Mania. He might even drop it before that. So I wouldn't panic that much if he wins the belt. Roman Reigns has not been champion in 2 years. If he has to come back and have a 6-month run, who fucking cares? But I'm not going to deny, and I'm not going to argue with anybody that says it's a little bit head-scratching that WWE would do this match again, considering that Brock has pretty much owned Roman Reigns. I mean, he beat the piss out of him at WrestleMania. And even though he did, it wasn't as a convincing win at the Greatest Royal Rumble, but he did still win. And Roman Reigns has never really come anywhere close to defeating Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns even ate the pin last year at SummerSlam, if you remember. So I think as wrestling fans, we're all a little bit torn here. I mean, on one hand, we want to pry that fucking Universal title out of the grips of Brock Lesnar, but at the same time, the fans don't want Roman Reigns to have it. So luckily for me, I don't take this shit that seriously, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over this stuff. But for the fans that absolutely lose their mind over Roman Reigns and his opportunities and whether or not he's champion and pushed and all this shit, they're in for a rough few weeks. You know, for me, I'll sit back and enjoy the entertainment on social media. You might hate Roman Reigns, but do you really want to see Brock Lesnar defeat him again and keep the Universal title until Survivor Series or Royal Rumble or WrestleMania next year? I mean, Jesus, now we're talking about possibilities that are just batshit insane. So I think it's time just to take that damn red belt off of Brock Lesnar and give it back to Monday Night Raw, regardless of who is holding the belt.